Hi there, John Michael Arthur here. And today I thought we might talk about grocery shopping in Costa Rica. You know, we often talk about going to the ferry and getting that fresh produce at such a good price. But I can't remember the last time that we talked about going to a grocery store in Costa Rica, and there are some differences. So let's take a look at that today. Why don't we, huh? Welcome to Mega Super. This is a typical mid-range chain grocery store in Costa Rica. This is Price Mart. We don't have Costco in Costa Rica, but if I were to blindfold you and take you inside a Price Mart and then let you see this, you'd swear you were in Costco. They're not the same company, but they still use the Kirkland brands. There are about 10 Walmart supercenters that are spread out through the Central Valley. One of the first things that surprises people when they come to Costa Rica is they find eggs out on the shelf, just like this. It's only a handful of countries like Japan, Finland, and the United States where we wash our eggs after they're laid, and that washes off the natural bloom that protects the egg. So once it's been washed, they have to be stored in the refrigerator. But most other countries don't wash the eggs until they're ready to be used, so they can stay on the shelf like this at room temperature easily for 2-3 weeks without any problem. Speaking of weeks, these eggs are probably only 2 days old, and if you're lucky, by the time the eggs in the States have been processed and packaged and washed and shipped, they're probably at least 2 weeks old, maybe 3, before you even get them. Costa Ricans love to sell things in plastic squeeze bags, from jelly to mayonnaise and mustard and ketchup. You can see here behind me bags and bags and bags of ketchup. Lozano is a mayonnaise that's very popular, a Costa Rican company, but you can find Hellmann's as well if you're a Hellmann's guy. You can find milk in the refrigerator section in most stores. It's something that's a little bit new in Costa Rica, and I'll show you why in just a moment. But let me show you that, interestingly, the milk here doesn't contain all of the preservatives that the milk in the States has. And so it's very fresh. This was probably just in the cow, well, probably just a couple of days ago before it got here to the shelf. So it's very fresh. I thought for the longest time that I had a milk allergy or lactose intolerance in the States. But I found after I moved to Costa Rica, I can drink all the milk that I want without any trouble, because it's not really the lactose that was causing the problem for me. It's something that we put in some chemicals we put in the milk to preserve it or otherwise change it in the States that was causing the problem. And many, many other folks have found the same thing. Well, remember I'd tell you why you didn't find refrigerated milk until just the last few years, is because forever milk has been sold in Costa Rica like this, in boxes on the shelf. It's been ultra high temp pasteurized, and therefore it has a very, very long shelf life. And because Costa Ricans have used it this way for so long, believe it or not, some families prefer to have it this way and are a little bit wary about that fresh refrigerated milk. You're not going to easily or commonly find aged European-style cheeses in Costa Rica. Instead, there's an abundance of this fresh white cheese available at most markets. Well, every grocery store, it doesn't matter how big it is, large or small, there will be an entire aisle devoted to tuna. Ticos love their tuna, and look at this. Check this out behind me. This entire aisle, nothing but tuna. Tuna, 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 and more tuna. Tuna with vegetables, tuna in pieces, tuna in oil, tuna in water, tuna with garlic sauce, tuna with oregano, tuna with chili peppers, tuna with corn, smoked tuna. Booze is sold at almost every food market, and we're not just talking about beer. Here's a couple of tips for you. There are 2 things that people can never seem to find. The first is baking powder. It's called polvo para hornear. And the second is cornstarch. Look for maicena, but be careful, it also comes in strawberry flavor.
Well, there you have it. A handful of hints about shopping in Costa Rica.